Edward Snowden works for the security services, does a dramatic escape, has a pole dancing girlfriend in Hawaii. I mean, you've got to make a movie about that.
There's always something.
I mean, he's been assisted by WikiLeaks, and both WikiLeaks and Mr. Snowden, they seem to cause the American government looks kind of impotent in what it can do at the moment, doesn't it?
It does certainly seem like that, and actually there's a certain kind of almost incompetence that the American government seems to be showing at the moment, and I'm not sure that either, and also their behavior in its kind of larger context also looks very dissembling and mendacious as well.
Are people like Mr. Snowden, Mr. Assange, Bradley Manning, are they the good guys or the bad guys?
Well, I think you'd have to, let's separate Assange out for a second.
Okay.
Because Manning and Snowden, I think, are a little bit more alike. Those two are the leakers.
Yes, whereas Assange is facilitating.
He's well, at least in his initial incarnation, I would call him a publisher. But Manning and Snowden are leakers, and I would go so far as to say whistleblowers. And I think, in a kind of fundamental sense, they're the good guys in the sense that they are telling us honestly about lies that the government is telling the citizens. And in some fundamental way, I think they are having a very positive impact.
But why is it that these people who do this then seem to end up, if they are trying to make existing democracies more democratic and our governments more accountable for what they tell us, why do they usually end up in the arms of some of the nastiest governments in the world?
Well, now you're talking about Snowden, and you're talking about his position in transit.
Mr. Assange is in the Ecuador, which is record on human rights. Well, he's in the embassy.
Well, that's why I'm saying let's separate out Assange from the other two. Manning is actually he's pled guilty to actually leaking, and in a way, Manning at the moment seems to be the most forthright. He said, "Look, I broke my military oath. I'm pleading guilty to leaking secrets." And I'm willing to be held to account for that. But I'm not willing to be held to account for being a spy, for being accused of espionage. That, I think, is where the Obama administration has gone astray. It's clear that Snowden and Manning are not spies. They're not secretly leaking material to another foreign power. What they're doing is letting everybody see the information that they have.
But you've got the way the administration handled this investigation, what they tried to do to the AP, the Associated Press journalists.
Right.
We then learned that they were taking all the Verizon telephone records as well. I'm a Verizon subscriber in New York. I got that. And then, of course, we've got Operation Prism, which you know by Snowden. But, of course, you would expect that all to happen under the evil George Bush, wouldn't you?
Right.
Oh, hold on. Isn't Mr. Obama president now?
Indeed. Indeed, and I think this is shocking. In terms of national security, I think we're going to end up seeing Obama as being a continuation in many ways of what the Bush and Cheney administration did.
Who would have thunk that?
Who would have thunk it?
And he hasn't closed Guantanamo either.
No, he hasn't.
You're a former Home Secretary. What do you make of this?
Well, I think part of the problem is, as the film suggested, is you've got some areas where people are keeping secret information that most certainly should be in the public domain. The CQC, the NHS whistleblowers who are gagged. That's information that, for everybody's good, should be out there about the quality of health services. But I'm afraid I slightly disagree. I think there is other information which is about keeping us secure, which not in every case of the information that Bradley Manning leaked, but in some cases, one, makes us less secure, and two, potentially puts people at danger because of its release into the public domain. So I think there are some things where we actually probably should make a stronger case for secrecy and be able to argue why it is important that information is kept secret.
Well, just to continue that thought, I think I agree with most of that. I mean, at the simplest level, two conspirators planning a bomb attack may have been corresponding with each other on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, believing that they were secure, because actually quite a lot of misinformation has been put out that the security forces were having real difficulty penetrating Twitter and Facebook and so on.
Well, you think that was misinformation?
I'm pretty sure that was misinformation. So now, so information that security forces might have been able to collect about future bomb attacks, that information may now well not exist, because conspirators will know that their communications are actually being collected.
How do you respond to that, Alex?
I think this is a false flag. I think this is the argument they used with waterboarding. In other words, oh my God, we can't let the terrorists know that the Americans are doing waterboarding, because if they do, they'll be prepared to resist the waterboarding and it won't work. Any self-respecting terrorist has got to know that they're at risk of being listened to by the CIA or the NSA at all times. I think what this is about is our secrets. Part of the problem, at least in the United States, is that even the very laws that regulate how these secrets are being taken and how they're being used are secret. So we don't even know how the laws are being applied to the new technology.
Do you accept that there is any case for secrecy within intelligence gathering?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Governments need to have secrets. But I think we're at a point now where the de facto action of our government is to keep everything secret. If you look at the number of secrets, there are now, I think there's almost 4 million people who are now capable
in America.
In America.
All right. I'm afraid we've run out of time. We have to leave it there. Alex, thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much.